Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Three Hammers. It's been a little while, only like extra couple of days really, because we was going to do one last week, but I thought, you know what, we'll leave it. We'll wait till the transfer window's over. And obviously, you know, it's an international break, so it's nice to have a bit of filler West Ham content really, because we don't play now till Sunday in a couple of weeks when we play big one, Spurs game, which we'll build up to next week. But yeah, what you been up to, mates? You know, un-West Ham related first. What you been up to?
Work, mate. Yeah, and breaking the rules and buying FIFA 21.
Yeah, quite enjoyed it so far. It's a terrible game. I'm good at it for some reason this year.
It's nothing makes me angry like FIFA. I keep saying to myself all week. I've been saying to myself, I'm not going to buy it.
I'm retiring.
I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it. I don't want to put myself through that anger. But I cracked. There's too many people in work talking about it today, so I was like, well.
It's all right. It is what it is, and it's one of them. It's entertaining. Guys, if we've missed any questions, again, we'll scroll down and start doing the questions. I've not been up to much. I was off today. Major water thing in Newham. So, like a working from home day, I have to call it.
Sounds fun, mate. Sounds fun.
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah. So West Ham, mate. Let's do some positive stuff first. Actually, you know what? I've got to say that on the pitch, I'm really impressed. You know, we look like we've found an 11 now. We look like we've found a team that works. You know, on the Leicester and the Wolves game, mate. Like, what performances? Honestly.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. What a turnaround, what a change. It seems like we've found a system that works. You know, it suits the players that we've got. Scoring goals for fun. You know, if you sort of take out the cup game, which I don't think we had any intention of winning anyway.
No.
Take that out and you just look at the league games and it's been brilliant, mate. Like the football's been good. Everyone's playing well over the Wolves and the Leicester game. I don't think I could pick out a bad performance. There's no one I would say played bad. You know, the team seems to be playing well together. Like I say, it's a system that suits us. It's a system that works. Even, I mean, as much as I've slated Cresswell,
he looks good at left centre back, mate.
He looks good, yeah. I know he played there before for us, and I weren't convinced. But this time around, I think he's looked really good. He's been comfortable.
You know, you can say set up 2 goals. You know that the second one was a bit of an over one, but yeah, I think you know he can do a job there. I would like another centre back to come in. Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about the transfers in a bit.
Yeah. we'll stick to the positive in a bit. Did you make a Kufal or Sofal, however you pronounce it? I thought it was excellent, mate.
Yeah, mate. Really good debut. And you could see straight away. Don't get me wrong. I really like Johnson, and I really like Ashby. I really like those two. But you could tell the difference straight away that this guy is experienced. Do you know what I mean? You could tell the difference straight away. And it did make a big difference. And he slotted right in. Obviously, it probably helps that he knows Souček. Play with him. You could see a couple of times them together on the pitch. But yeah, brilliant. Really good, mate. Surprised as well, considering, you know, we paid so little for him. I think it was 5 million, but we only paid like 1.8 million up front. But he looks him, yeah, I like him.
I can't remember who it was on one of the West Ham channels made quite an interesting comparison. And I thought, yeah, actually, that's not a bad comparison. A little bit like Zabaleta, sort of style of player. You know, he off an attack or will run. The good thing with these Czech guys, man, they will run like
just
all day
engine,
long.
Yeah,
absolute engines. That's it, mate. The other impressions, mate. I think Fornals has been excellent. The 2 games. What a goal as well. What a goal.
The control to bring it out of the sky and just in front of him was phenomenal. And he took it well. That's one thing he's been struggling with. He's actually finishing. But he took it really well near post. Yeah, Fornals brilliant. For me, Ogbonna, outstanding.
Well deserved his pull up as well, mate. Obviously, he's been called back into the Italy squad now.
I think mate, last year, I said it at the time, I thought he was absolutely robbed. I think he was hammer of the year like last year. I think he was our best player last year. Oh, there you go. Seeing Kufau, you would pronounce the C in cell. So Sufau.
Sufau. There we go.
Sufau. Ogbonna for me, phenomenal. Such a.
I like Balbuena being back as well, mate. Balbuena being back.
Played well. Maybe it suits him playing in a free. Like I say, mate, over those 2 games, I couldn't pick out a bad foot. Bowen, obviously, has been fantastic.
Oh mate, yeah. How did I forget Bowen? Yeah,
Bowen's been fantastic. Antonio's been fantastic.
Masuaku's
been brilliant.
Rice, brilliant.
Everybody, mate, everybody. Like I say, I couldn't pick out a bad performance. The only worry, and as good as those 2 games were, and they were brilliant. They were brilliant. You have to credit. I want to say you have to credit Moyes, even though Moyes weren't there. And I don't want to lay into him too much about. It's funny that Moyes goes away and all of a sudden performances pick up, because he's not taking the training or anything either, obviously. But you have to give credit. We found a system that works for playing players in the right position.
Looked like we had a bloody counter attack for the first time in 5 years.
Yeah, we had a game plan, and it worked really well. The subs and the lack of subs still worries me. And I know people are going to say, "Oh, but who's he going to bring on?" It's not. And again, we said this before. It's not about who he brings on. It's about giving the players that's on the pitch a rest. And we'll talk about transfers more in a little bit. But our squad now is so
threadbare now. Absolute threadbare now.
We've literally got 20 senior players, and 3 of them are goalkeepers. It's our squad is so light. We need to use our bench. We need to give the players that's on the pitch a rest. They can't play a full season, 90 minutes.
This is where you can use Mark. I was actually calling for Mark to come on. When you are 3-0 up, 4-0 up, whatever you are, that's where you do bring Mark on. And Mark can just recycle the ball. And he don't need legs in that last few minutes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But really impressed with the way we're playing. Unfortunately, the international break has come at a wrong time for us, because I'd fancy us a little bit going into that Tottenham game. Obviously, Tottenham were fantastic against Man United, but
you say that though, and I agree to an extent. But I did see a really good point someone made on Knees Up Mother Brown, where they said actually the international breaks come at a good time, because expectations would have been through the roof. Obviously, off the back of 2 really big wins, expectations would have been really high. Whereas now the guys have got a break, calm everything down a little bit, sort of carry on. Do you know what I mean? Although I tell you what, see when Moyes comes back, if we don't, what happens if Moyes comes back and we start losing?
Alan's coming in, mate. Hammer says still need 3 more players at least for the championship. We'll talk about transfer in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. If the 11 could have been man of the match versus Leicester, not often you say that.
Yeah, agree with that.
2 great results, like Wolves and Leicester. Listen, they're 2 clubs I admire as football clubs, and where I would love West Ham to be. So beat them so convincingly, and with a clean sheet. Like Vardy as well. Wait, Vardy on the pitch that game? Do you know what I mean?
Mate, this is a joke, right?
So I love Vardy, man.
I did the Sky Bet price boost for the game, and it looked like free money. It was Vardy to have 1 shot on target. That's it. Just 1 shot on target.
Then he went through as well, didn't he?
He went through and put it wide, the mug. But I'm not being funny. That must have been the first game in our many where he hasn't even had a shot on target. Yeah. Ogbonna just had him absolutely in his pocket. It's brilliant to see.
It was. Just going to go into the comments here. Injuries are going to muck us up with this Finn squad. I agree, mate. Keep Moyes at home, please. And little happy face. Right. So transfers, mate.
What transfers?
Yeah, it's gone now, isn't it? Championship window's still open till the 8th of October. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's have a look at what happened on that last day. So Wilshire's gone. Anderson's gone. Who else?
Wilshere, Anderson, Cullen.
Cullen.
Silva.
The Wilshere one. Have you read much about it?
I saw his post that he put up saying that he's been fit, but he just hasn't been picked. I did read that, but I don't know if there's any more that's come out.
Did you read any of the money details of it?
No.
So apparently, this is what was said up. I think it was on Hammer's chat or something like that. So he was on pay his contract if he would have stayed at the club and we would have paid him off, would have been 15 million. He paid him 14 million. So to save $1 million, he got rid of him. Is that good business?
I mean, I'll talk about that a little bit later on, because I think that's got a lot to do with a potential takeover.
Yeah.
And there's finance things to do with that. We can talk about that in a little bit. But if you look at it,
just very quickly, mate. That Liverpool result was just madness, mate. Absolute madness.
2 in a day, mate. It's hilarious because we did really, really well. Beat Leicester, thinking, that's going to be talked about all week. And then obviously the Man United game happens. And what was that? 6-1?
6-1. And then that Liverpool game was just crazy.
It's funny because all Liverpool fans were out the woodwork laughing. And then they got done 7-2.
Yeah, Ollie Watkins, mate, a player we should have signed.
But yeah, if you look at our transfers, if you look at the players that's left, I think I did see a list. I think we've lost 12 players. 12 players have been released or sold, or sent out on loan. It might even be 13 now with Anderson gone. Mate, we've got no squad. And again, I do think this all ties into a potential sort of takeover. It's asset stripping. We've talked about it before. They're basically clearing out the books. They're getting their outgoings down as low as possible. And I know the championship window's still open. We ain't signing anyone from the championship. Anyone who thinks we're going to go and get Ben Rama or Rodon.
It's the only thing that would give me some positivity in transfers is if we sign said Ben Rama.
It's not going to happen, mate.
He is an unbelievable player, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, mate.
We are not signing anybody for any money. We are not signing anybody for any money.
The other guy I like is Swansea guy, Rodon or something like that. The centre back, Rodon, the one they said will be ready in 18 months. Yeah, but in 18 months' time, we won't be able to afford him.
Well, he's been linked with Tottenham as well now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Our squad is so threadbare. Like I say, we've got 20 senior players, and that includes 3 goalkeepers and 3 right backs.
Centre mid, one centre mid injury. You're back to Noble, Rice, Noble, Souček, Snodgrass.
It's unbelievable, mate. We are, and when you think at the minute as well, the likes of COVID could take out 3 players at any time.
We've seen it.
Yeah, it could take out players at any time. Injuries, which West Ham always suffer from, and again, going back to us not using our substitutes, we need to give these players a rest because we literally can't rotate. It's got to the point where, again, people have been saying we haven't got enough senior players to do a training game in training.
Yeah.
There literally are not enough players at the club. We've got one recognised striker at the club in Haller. I don't count Antonio as a striker. Yeah, he's been playing there and he's been scoring goals. But as far as a recognised striker goes, there is one at the club now. Silvergwen.
And Moyes doesn't fancy him. Haller, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Antonio gets injured, and we know Antonio's always ever one run away on pulling that hamstring. Always has his little back niggle, then he once a year. And what?
Crazy.
Yeah, so a real flating into it. And obviously, the Ghana one, even more so now, mate, is why?
We know why, mate. We know why. We sold Grady. And again, I said it at the time. And I don't care, right? We had people in the comments when it was all going on about, where Tarkovsky and this, that, and the other. I said at the time, we haven't got the money. And it's clear now, even more, that they've got nothing, mate. There's nothing left. We sold Grady to pay for Haller.
I agree.
That's it. That's why we sold him.
They sort of half admitted that on TalkSport. I don't know whether you heard it. Jim White was sort of saying, they had to bid in for Marseille guy of 25 million and he turned us, they wanted an extra 10 million and what was the other one? Some other, Tomore, obviously, the loan fee and 50 grand for every time he doesn't pay. What does that say? Like, All that Jim White ended up saying to the West Ham fan on the phone was, "Well, you've got to give it to him. He tried." Like
That's it, mate. There you go.
The
That's
classic.
why they did it. That's why they did it. They put bids in that they knew wouldn't be accepted, so they could say, "Oh, we tried." Like, I'm not being funny, mate. We could bid £100 million for Lionel Messi.
Doesn't mean we're going to actually go
It's
through
a
with
good
the
headline,
deal,
isn't it? But it's not going to happen. It's poor, mate. And again, I we probably will talk about it in a little bit. But for me, it's asset stripping. They're taking the cost down as much as they can, and they'll sell the club. I really do believe that that's what's happening. If it ain't what's happening, I don't know, mate. If it ain't because they're selling club, I genuinely don't know what the hell they're doing. I really don't. Because if let's say the takeover is not happening, right? Let's say that doesn't happen. It's nonsense, whatever. What's their plan? What is the plan?
Yeah, I don't know, mate. Like, loads of players are getting on board now. Obviously, Sinclair, Harry Redknapp said today as well about it.
Just to say as well, and again, this does all feed into the takeover sort of thing. But again, if that's not happening, I think I read today that we've got about 6 players are out of contract next year. So we've got no players as it is. In the summer, we're going to be losing even more.
Another 6, yeah. Potentially another 6, yeah.
Yeah, you have to think, if they're not selling the club, I genuinely don't know what's going on. I don't know what the plan is. I really don't. So I don't know, mate. But yeah, shocking window. Anyway, to wrap it up, to go back to that.
So you don't think we'll sign anyone then? So you don't think we'll sign any of these Championship players like Danny Welbeck, Craig Dawson?
Maybe free transfers will get in. Maybe if Moyes fancies them.
Not used the loan yet either.
I don't think. I can't see Welbeck coming in. You know, people were talking about like the likes of Josh King. It'd be a fantastic signing.
It would. No, he would. That's a great shout, Josh.
And it'd be really good cover for Antonio as well. But it's not going to happen. They're not going to pay the money for him. I don't know, mate. Free transfers, maybe. Dawson keeps getting floated about, but it genuinely wouldn't surprise me, mate, if we don't sign anybody. It really wouldn't. I don't think we'll sign anyone.
No, it's very, very frustrating. Like I say, the Diagana one, like now that Anderson's gone on loan, and apparently he didn't get on with a manager or something. It's saying that, I didn't get on with Moyes, but I'm sorry, but I think Anderson, in the end, he was one of the worst players at the club for me. He's one that should have gone out the door as soon as possible.
And this is the thing as well, and I know a lot of West Ham fans are saying this, and because a lot of fans have been saying, "Oh, but the players that left, they weren't being played anyway, or you know, they weren't performing," which is true. I've got, apart from Grady, I've got no issue with any of the players that left. None at all. I've got no issue with any of the players that left apart from Grady. But the problem is we didn't replace them. No. It's not that they weren't good enough or that they didn't play last year. Now we've got nothing at all. Now there's nothing. I don't know, mate. It's insane. Insane.
Yeah, that is, mate. It's madness.
Again, so just to come back to that, where I was just saying, so I just see a comment there from Stevie right at the bottom. Losing players is fine if they're past their use-by date along with a higher wage. Yes, mate. 100%. I agree. Those players that left is fine, but you need to replace them. You can't just have nobody. You have to replace them. So it's shocking transfer window. I think we're the only club in the league that made a profit on transfers. You know, up until we signed, I'm going to have to learn how to say his name properly, but up until we signed Soufal, we were the only club in the top 10 divisions in Europe that hadn't signed a player. Ridiculous.
The real problem is nobody wants to play for us anymore. It's the most depressing thing. Yeah, we're not the most attractive club who want to come and play. Look at the players we've missed out on: Lee Watkins, Matty Cash, even Callum Wilson and Ryan Fraser, Mo Lewis. Like, if teams like Newcastle are splashing the cash, we're not. It says a lot, doesn't it? It really, really says a lot about where we are as a football club. Chris Harris says Gonzo made a point earlier about David Sullivan said he approached 18 potential signings and couldn't get one over the line, what point do you start feeling embarrassed that you couldn't get it done? It's true. It's true.
And
over the years as well.
yeah, but I mean, you got to think as well. What clubs want to deal with West Ham right now? They know that like the Haller thing was public, that we missed payments. If you were another business, like forget about football clubs, if you were another business, would you want to do business with someone who publicly can't afford payments?
Yeah, it makes you think, was that put out by West Ham?
Yeah, and you know, like I say, it sums it up. When the only player we signed, he only cost £5 million, and we couldn't even afford to pay that up front. Paid it. We're paying it in £1.8 million installments.
We've saved something like 700 grand a week in wages or something since, like, you know, Sanchez and all them people have gone, which is ridiculous. Typically, Sullivan tried to blame Moyes for the Tomori deal not happening through their mouthpiece, Clarence and Hugh.
It wasn't going to happen anyway. I said, as soon as we were linked with him, I said it. He ain't coming to West Ham because he's an actual prospect. Why would he want to come and play for West Ham or sit on the bench for West Ham?
Yeah.
Again, I think that was...
He played for Chelsea and potentially getting that England team.
Yeah, exactly.
Euros, yeah. Sully moaned about 50 grand to get the players to the Everton game. Then was offered Chelsea 50 grand if that centre-back didn't play. Yeah, what did you make of that? What did you make of that thing with the cup as well? He said about...
Disgusting. Yeah. Like, absolutely. I don't know. Did we not talk about that before?
No, because obviously we didn't do a show last week, did we?
Oh, you're right, yeah. The man's a joke. The man's an absolute joke.
Do you think a call was made about 2-0? Say, yeah, just give up now. It felt like that.
It did feel like that, mate. And again, going back to the, you know, obviously there was the point where they had used all of their subs because of injuries. So they were forced into using all of their subs. And it was around about probably the hour mark, wasn't it? And that was a point where if we wanted to go for it, we could have changed it up. We could have brought on some subs, changed the shape, and they wouldn't have been able to react to it. And
Socek could have come on. Rice
we could have.
No, Rice was playing. When Rice was playing centre back.
Bowen could have come on. You know, there were options there. We could have moved Rice up into midfield. We could have changed it up, and we could have really gone for it. And they wouldn't have been able to respond because they used all their subs. And I think we probably could have got a result out of it, but nothing. Absolutely nothing happened.
It's disappointing.
I don't think there was any intention to win that game, which is, again, it's disgraceful, mate. It is. It's disgraceful. And him coming out and talking about how it cost him money to send the players up for a cup game. What is he talking about? Can you imagine any other owner of a football club in the league, like Premier League, down to the bottom,
the press going into the next round? I know, it's unprofessional. It's so unprofessional. Here, the porter cabins are up for sale. Don't like the international break. It's like the season keeps stopping and starting. I hate international break. I hate it. Also, you need to ask yourself as an owner why players don't want to come and what's going wrong. Yeah, and I don't think it's Moyes either. I don't think it's Moyes, like players not wanting to play for Moyes, because I think, and is it Irvine, is it Moyes? I think the players have got quite a unity around themselves now. They look like they're quite unified now. On one thing, back on a transfer window, mate, how positive is that we kept Declan Rice?
Yeah. Again, there's whispers about that as well. But yeah, obviously massively positive. And depending on what happens in the next 6 months, he still could go at the end of the season. But and again, I think we said this at the time. He's not a player that's going to throw his toys out the pram. He's not a player that's going to push for a move.
I think he will go next summer. I think it will stay in January. It will stay in January.
It depends what happens, mate. If obviously a takeover happens and the rest of it, who knows? And there again, talking about this, there's a lot of rumours swirling around that the new or the prospective owners want to build a team around Declan Rice and he's key to it. And there's even whispers that it might have been a condition that he's not sold.
Maybe, yeah.
So there's whispers around that. So if that happens, then I think he'll probably stay. If not, then yeah, I think he'll be gone in the summer. I think if Sullivan's still running the club in the summer, then I think he'll be gone. But yeah, obviously for the meantime, fantastic news that he stays.
Yeah, because him and Socek are just brilliant, aren't they? Together, they really have.
Yeah,
something,
and really, we've got, as I say, mate, we've got such a good spine at the moment. The team's really working. It's a system that suits them. The problem is again, there's no backup. There's no like for like replacements. You know, there you go. That's exactly right, Kent. You know, that's exactly right. If Antonio gets injured, I really like Haller, but he's not a direct replacement. If Masuaku gets injured, there's no one to replace him. If Souček or Rice gets injured, there's no one directly to replace him.
I know, mate.
Yeah.
We are just a stepping stone club for players that want to play in the Premier League from lower leagues or above. See, I don't mind that.
Mate, nearly every club in the league is that.
Yeah. Leicester are even that. Leicester are, like, you look at the players Leicester have lost. Mahrez, Harry Maguire, as bad as he was the weekend, Jesus Christ. They do good business, you know, and they're stubborn. Maguire, 80 million, or he's not going. Mahrez, what was he, 50, 60 million? I can't remember how much Mahrez was. And 50 million. And look what they reinvested. Maddison, Lemons. Chilwell went for 50 million, didn't he? And they've replaced. You know, they're very, very well-run club. Like, if we sold Declan Rice under David Sullivan, I do not trust him at all to reinvest that money wisely. Because we have no scouting set up to go and scout the next Tillemans or the next Soyuncu, for example.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. And like I say, apart from the Champions League clubs, every club is a stepping stone. I mean, even the likes of, you know,
Liverpool. Look at Sterling. He was at Liverpool.
Yeah, even the likes
Man City.
Yeah, even you could even argue that the likes of your Man Uniteds and your Arsenals and your Liverpools are stepping stones to your Barcelonas and your Real Madrids. Do you know what I mean?
Anyway, Real Madrid or Barcelona come in for you, you're gone. Whoever you are, I think. No, if realistically, if Real Madrid came in for Van Dijk, for example, I think he would turn his head.
Yeah, I mean, they're the biggest club in the world. You know, I would say apart from
the prestige, isn't it? It's the prestige for them as well.
Apart from Real Madrid, every club in the world is a stepping stone to somewhere. But,
yeah. It got to a point where we had to pay over the odds to get players in. Now they don't even want to come for the money. That's crazy, isn't it? It's fair to say he hammers like a joke and a laugh. Sullivan's antic has left us viewed as being a joke. Yeah, so does, yeah. Quicker they go, the better, mate. Moment Moyes repeatedly said the club needs fixing onto top scouting system, blah, 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 blah. Sully was never going to take that. I agree.
So he employed him twice.
Yeah. Where was I? Oh, I skipped so far ahead there. I do apologise, guys. Here we go. It's not just the finances for me, the way they publicly act, especially David Sullivan. They're horrible people, even in a way. Lady Brady needs to go as well. Just get rid of her. She's fouled massively. 2-1 now, being outplayed, and the fact that we made no changes show, but Moyes was happy to sacrifice the cup. I think Rice will go to United rather than Chelsea. Maybe. I think it's time for Noble to pass captaincy to Rice. It looks that way now, doesn't it? Anyway, you know, he's captain. You've been taken in by the secret agent. Paul is the secret agent.
There you go. Yeah. No, do you know what? I think there's. I definitely
subscribers just going to go boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I am the secret agent. No, I definitely think there's
some smoke in it.
This secret agent guy, I definitely think some of the things he's saying are right. Some of the things he said, I don't think are right at all. But it's not just him, mate. There's quite a few people that are in the know about these
even
things.
X has said it. Even X has said it. You know, if you say X is your most trusted,
and I don't listen to X, but he's one of them. But there's like 4 or 5 people that are trusted that have come out and said something's going on, things are happening. And even if you take all that out of it, if you take all the in the know stuff away, it's just look at the club. Just look at what's happening. It seems like I say, if what's happening now and what hasn't happened in this transfer window isn't leading up to a sale of the club, My
I don't
mind
know
will
what's happening
explode,
yet.
mate. I don't know what else it could possibly be. If this isn't asset stripping, I don't know what's going on, mate. So I definitely think there's something in it. I think this secret agent guy has probably got some contacts, but there's quite a few others who've come out and said things are going on. But even away from that, if you just look at what's happening at the club, that's just what it looks like to me. And I definitely think something's going on. Whether it'll happen or not, it's different. But there's
I hope
definitely
so, mate.
something going on.
I hope so. I really do hope so. Because the other theory is that they've put these rumours out. Golden Sullivan, for example, who again build that excitement up for January, get the season tickets going again. Like, oh, we'll be out the club by January. Then they don't go. It's just a way of like selling season tickets again. That's the other conspiracy theory. I'm just putting it out there.
Oh yeah, I know people say that.
Out there. Yeah, I'm just putting it out
but do you know anyone who would renew on that basis?
No, I don't think we'd fall for the lies anymore.
I think that's exactly it, mate.
It can be seen through now.
Yeah, exactly that, mate. It's too easy to be seen through, and I think it would have the opposite effect anyway, because all that happens whenever these sort of things come out, it just puts more pressure on them. You know, if you look, I don't use Twitter or anything, but I know that people are just hounding them. Leave the club.
Trends at least once a week. It trends at least once a week.
Yeah, sell up. So I don't buy that. Like I say, whether or not it happens is a different story, but there's definitely something going on, mate. There's definitely something going on.
I just want to say big thank you. 52 people watching, which is fantastic to watch live, guys. Massive thank you. 50 people now. 2 people have just left. I scared them. Surely they have a better chance of selling the club if it was run and set up in the right places. It's true, mate. But they're not willing to. They think the back stuff is not important. They're running a football club like it was Birmingham in the early 90s, where you just look on Football Manager and who the next prospect is. From KSA, in for 18 players is like a lucky dip. No strategy getting selected players. We should plan ahead, select and get everything ready for transfer day. Business should not be done on the last day. No. If you get desperate, you get an injury, or something's not quite working out, then maybe you go again at the transfer deadline day. The good clubs, it's done. It's done. They're ready to go that first game of the season, and even more so this year, where it was such a quick turnaround. 52 are back. Hi guys, sorry if I scared you. Hello is a statue compared to Antonio.
Compared to Antonio, I think Haller gets it rough from the fans, to be honest. I don't think he's as static as people say. But obviously, compared to Antonio, they're different players. That's what I mean. I really like Haller, and I would love to see Haller play with Antonio.
With Antonio, yeah.
But I don't know. You drop. Who do you drop? Like the system's working. No, you can't. The system's working so well. You can't change it. And I would love to see them play together, because I think they complement each other really well. But that's what I'm saying. If Antonio got injured, you can't just slot Haller in, because they're different players.
What do you make of sorry, just one I forgot, mate, in the transfer when it just come in my head. About Lanzini then. Where does he, where is he fitting in?
Still got a place to play, mate. I mean, Lanzini for me would come in for Nels, if he needed rotating or needed a rest. I think Lanzini looked really good apart from the last cup game. I think Lanzini looked really good in the couple before that. He looked sharp. And I definitely think Lanzini's still got a part to play. No, I wouldn't drop Fornals for him. But, if Fornals needed rotated, or if he got injured or whatever, then that's where Lanzini slots in. Especially now Anderson's gone.
Sufal and Socek, both bench warmers this evening. Fine with that, yeah. No injuries, please. We can count our blessings. We haven't got Igalo and Cavani. How the mighty have fallen. Cavani was shocking when United came to Upton Park. I always like Cavani. Yeah, it's not the Ibra signing they got a few years ago. Ibra was like unbelievable. And when they used to pick up them slightly older players? Do you remember when Hendrik Larsson went there?
Yeah.
That was masterstroke signing. That was.
Yeah, he done really, really well for him.
Yeah. No, he was brilliant. They used to pick up them little cheeky ones like that. Shame is we are 4 or 5 players away from being competitive. It's true. There's something, for think you said it, mate, the other day. I think it was you. It's got that feel of when Leicester won the league again this year.
Yeah.
Not for us. Not for us. I'm not going to say we're going to win the league because we definitely ain't. But, you know, like that Everton, Aston Villa. You know, if the results keep going the way they're going.
You know, it's that kind of, it was me who said it. Yeah, it's that kind of funny season. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, no fans and all the rest of it. And the game, like, not much of a break between the seasons. And there's loads of stuff going on. And yeah, it just has that feel where of one of those seasons, anything could happen. I think you'll see people up there this season that you wouldn't have expected. Yeah. And I think you'll see people down fighting relegation that you wouldn't have expected as well.
I'd love to. Please be Man United. Oh, God, hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Well, what do you make of that? There was something someone put out like a theory that how much of this fans not being there, is playing towards the underdog. For a team like Liverpool, for example, fans are not there to sway the ref or to get on someone like Virgil van Dijk back if he's having a bad game, or lesser players can play with a little bit more freedom, and maybe players need the fans. I don't know. It's an interesting little theory that was talked about. Do you think we would have had new signings if there were supporters in the stadium at the moment? There certainly would have been protest, and obviously would have been more visual pressure. No, I don't know. I don't know, mate. To be honest.
No, I mean, like you say, exactly that. There'd definitely be much more pressure. If the fan, it will be very different. I think if the fans were in the stadium. And maybe we would have seen something. I don't know. It's impossible to know. It depends. Like I say, it depends what's happening with the club at the minute.
For these comments, did not make any subs in the cup because we have to pay appearance. Yeah, that's true. Apparently,
I did. Do you know what? I read I did read that even if you're on the bench, you still have to pay an appearance fee.
Yes,
but there you go.
How many points do you think we will get in the next 3 games? So I believe it is Tottenham, Liverpool, and Manchester City. If you would have asked me that 4 weekends games, I would have said maybe 3. I tell you what, most teams can be got at, and I don't like saying that because we'll probably get absolutely spanked. But no,
9 points.
9 points. Yeah, 9 points. Be in the Champions League. I've renewed my season ticket.
Why did you renew though, Ken? Hang on, I actually want to ask that question. So,
why did you renew?
Did you renew because you were going to renew anyway, and because you don't want to give up your season ticket because you're a West Ham fan, or did you renew because we might sign somebody, or did you renew because we might be taken over? Why did you renew? That's the point I was making earlier, was that people ain't going to renew based on the fact that we might be taken over. That, in my opinion, I don't know. Maybe you did, mate. Like, why did you renew? Sorry, I just wanted to ask that.
That's right, mate. Yeah, 2 away from 60 viewers now. Come on. Why is that little poison millionaire wanting to make more money out of the club rather than put it up? I think he's still sticking by 1 more for 60. Come on. Did you hear, guys, that Payet topped the creative charts for January 2010 to January 2020 in the 5 European leagues with 973 chances created? Ridiculous. Yeah, listen, mate, he was world class. We talk about him all the time on this show. Whatever you think of him personally, man was one of the best ever players to put on a West Ham shirt. A mile.
There's no doubt about it, mate.
In our lifetime, definitely. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, when we had him, he was legitimately one of the best players in Europe.
That says a lot, because with Paolo, it takes a lot for me to say, that someone's in Paolo's league. But listen, this man was ridiculous. I laugh when Jim White said Golden Sullivan put 30 of their own money into it during the lockdown. If they won't all make interest on it in the meantime, wouldn't surprise me if it was actually Trip Smith that put the money in. To be honest with you, it's a shame as right now I'm happy with our formation, the way we're playing, the confidence in the side. Feel we now have an injury in the short squad. Yeah, I've got to say I've actually really been enjoying watching West Ham again. It's just a shame this off-field stuff and the lack of the squad depth still keeps that negativity there. I agree. Moyes needs money to be able to buy players because Antonio's injured. If you would have told me in 2016 we would completely collapse without Antonio, I would have laughed. True, mate. He was
Mate,
all calling for him to go to Palace.
12 months ago, I would have laughed as well.
Feed Ella, he will score. Feed Ella, he will score. I got really tongue twisted there. I do apologise. I want to move on in a minute because we're going to go on to our best defenders. In partly French, who's the biggest club in France? PSG, Marseille, Saint Etienne. I heard Marseille has the biggest following. Well, PSG obviously the biggest in terms of financial backing. Yeah, Marseille have probably won more, haven't they, in terms of European? But PSG have had some fantastic players over the years. Ronaldinho, Okocha years, and obviously now Mbappe and Neymar, the best players in the world. Last one was class, Di Maria as well. Do we hope to do well up until Christmas? There are no recruits in the squad in the January window. Yeah, I so. Leeds even. Leeds as well. That's a good shout. Football at the moment is Sunday League with all the goals and no defending. Brilliant, man.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch. Yeah. It's exciting.
How many people will renew to watch all our new signings on deadline day? Oh, well. I've renewed because I'm a fan. I didn't want to give my season ticket up and lose my away points. I will always renew as long as I can go.
Yeah, see, there you go. See, that's what I mean. Fans are going to renew because of that, because they don't want to give up their seat, they don't want to lose their points, which I don't really like. That's kind of
60.
But fans will renew because they're West Ham fans and they want to go and see West Ham. They're not renewing because of potential takeover rumours and all that. But,
it's the love of the club, isn't it? Yeah, right, last comment for a minute. I'll be honest, I still have Pyatt autograph picture on the wall. Left like a snake. He gave his best. I've had the best season I've had in a long time while I was here, and it cost me a lot of money. To make that season was just unbelievable. Right, so away from West Ham for a little while. Keep your comments coming in, guys. We're going to go probably another sort of 10, 15 minutes. We've been doing this little series where we've gone from goalkeeper, we've done our left back, we've done our right back. I think it was it Schmeichels, Cole, and did we go Gary Neville or Zabaleta? I think it was.
No, Schmeichel, Cole, and Trent. We went for.
Oh, Trent. We did go for Trent. So today, Premier League era only, guys. Obviously, we could all just be putting Bobby Moore and Beckenbauer in there otherwise. Premier League defenders, mate. Premier League centre backs. Who's your stick outs, mate?
I didn't do. I keep meaning to do some research before the shows when we do these, and I always forget, so I haven't done any at all. So the obviously the big one that stands out, especially for West Ham fans, is going to be Rio.
Oh, we're going to do West Ham first, yeah?
Well, no, just in general. I think
yes. What am I even talking about? Yeah.
Rio 100% is definitely one of the best defenders in the Premier League era, one of the best centre backs. I'm trying to think now of real.
I'm going to throw one out. Someone who I think he played with Rio, and I was a massive fan of, was Jaap Stam. Absolute monster.
Stam was great. I thought you were going to say Vidic.
Vidic was fantastic as well, mate. I know he's a Marmite, and I don't particularly like the guy, but John Terry was a fantastic defender. He was a fantastic centre back. Tony Adams, if you're going down that Arsenal sort of centre back thing.
Vincent Kompany.
Oh, Kompany, yeah, what a player Kompany was. Virgil, what about Virgil?
There you go, yeah.
Virgil was an absolute animal. Oh, well, one of my favourite players of all time, actually, there.
Marcel Desailly, yeah.
What a player. What a player.
Did he play centre-back or right-back?
No, he was centre-back. When he came to Chelsea, he was centre-back. It's him and Frank Leboeuf.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Yeah, and I'm thinking that France team now. Thuram was right-back, wasn't he? What's his name? Who's the guy? He's probably not one of the best defenders, but he was an absolute monster who played for Portsmouth. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Distan,
yeah, Sylvain Distan.
Distan and Sol Campbell. Sol Campbell was a defender as well, mate. They had a great defence at the time. Yeah, I'm trying to think other centre halves. Gallas was brilliant.
Gallas
was a great centre back. Laporte is really good as well. He's injured a lot.
What about West Ham? Like, I'm talking real standout centre backs for West Ham. Obviously, you've got Rio. Is there anyone else that you'd put in there?
Titters Bramble. Sorry. Did he play for us? Did he come to us at one point?
Bramble? No, he didn't play for us.
No, he didn't. Right, what West Ham centre backs?
Roger Johnson.
My 11 video. Igor Stimac and Ian Pearce were my centre backs. Ian Pearce was fantastic centre back. He really was for us. Really strong, and he was on the Virgin England team at one point, and he broke his leg, didn't he? Did he break his leg or do his knee or something like that? And Stimac was just a machine. Fantastic pass for the ball, so strong. Oggie's up there, mate. Is one of the best centre backs we've had
for West Ham. Yeah, definitely.
For us, yeah.
Again, not like standard quality wise, no. But all around, Winston, yeah, and I was going to say James Collins.
Ginge and Danny Gabardon when they were both together as well.
Partnership, yeah. When they came in, what a partnership they were.
Yeah. Obviously, Alvin's a great player. Sadly, I didn't get to see him play. Oh, he's some Palace there, yeah. Some Palace there, really good shout as well, yeah. That's tough, isn't it? Who I'd put in, actually. I think Rio, yeah. I think Rio has to go in. For me, it's a little bit of a West Ham love as well.
I think. All right, then. What about? So, if we're going to just pick the two, what about Rio and Desai?
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
for the two.
Rio and Desai. I do love Shep Stam though. Shep Stam was just such a beast.
You could put Stam in, so then you'd have
Virgil though. Come on, Virgil is up there, man. He is.
Was he better than either of those two, though?
In terms of him on his own, changed Liverpool into a title-winning team.
No, you're right. Yeah, you are right, mate. You're right.
He was that massive signing that took them to that next level, really, didn't he? I know they had Salah, Mane, he's got that. If you're a striker running at Virgil, you're terrified, aren't you? It's like, I'm coming up against Virgil van Dijk. Like,
I think
that intimidating presence.
So if you went for Van Dijk, then if you said, all right, yeah, Van Dijk's in, he's the rock, he's the defensive one, and then if you have Rio next to him as the ball carrier, the one who's going to bring the ball out of defence, what do you think?
Yeah, I think
so. We've got Trent, Rio, Van Dijk, and Ashley Cole. It's good defence.
Not bad, mate. Yeah.
Peter Schmeichel in goal. Good.
Yeah. So next week, guys, we'll probably go for. What formation we're going to play. We're going to play CDM, a cam, 2 wingers, or 2 strikers. What do you want to play? 4-4-2?
4-4-2 is traditional with classic, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, okay, right. So next week we'll probably do like a defensive-minded or, 2 centre midfielders. But yeah, so Rio and VVD. A lot of people agreeing with that.
There you go. Just Stevie C. Alvin Martin played in the Premiership for 3 years. Did he?
He did. No, he did. He did. Yeah, I never got him play. He did play. Yeah, he did play.
There you go.
Yeah. But VVD is class, but Desai is incredible. Desai's got a World Cup winners medal as well. You want to put that in now? And
4-4-2 is the way to go in it. Classic.
We always usually just swerve this a little bit, mate, onto dream scenario, and we usually go off tangent and talk about centre backs, world renowned that have been some of our favourites. So we will a couple of minutes to do that. Some of the best centre backs, mate, in the world in our time. We're only 35 guys.
Yeah. Well, you're the standouts. The likes of Paolo Maldini's, Iniesta's,
Cannavaro.
Cannavaro. The Italian. Like of our era, the Italian defenders have been something else. They're obviously absolutely known for it. Maldini's probably the best defender of all time. What about from your boys, mate? Les Blues.
Well, it's Desai, isn't it? And you've got Varane. You're talking more modern. Alas was obviously part of them teams. The Spain defenders, mate. Piqué, Sergio Ramos.
Piqué and Ramos, yeah. And
Puyol.
Yep.
No, there's some fantastic players in there, mate. don't know. I'm trying to think now of some of these like worldy defenders, like who's some of the centre backs that like Bayern Munich have had and stuff like that. You know, like I don't know, Van Bommels and people like that who are just legends. Some Dutch ones as well, but my brain's gone. Brain's completely gone. There's some really good Dutch ones from the past as well. My brain is completely gone. Give us some ideas. Oh, Costa Curta, yeah, what a player. Dan, I'm late. I'm going to have to catch up.
I just did a quick search. Cannavaro, Beckenbauer, Coman, Ramos, Moore, Stam, Desai, Maldini, Puyol, Vidic, Nesta. It's all the names we sort of talked about, really.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if there's any sort of standouts that we haven't mentioned. Laurent Blanc.
Oh, yes. What a player. What a player.
Thiago Silva.
Yeah.
Obviously now in the Premier League, yeah.
And obviously, Bobby Moore, the best one ever.
Who?
Bobby Moore, mate, the best ever.
Well, obviously.
We own the best ever, yeah. Just have a look here. Antonio Cabrini, Coman, Bertie Vogts. Yeah.
Baresi, yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Baresi, Frank, but Coman was a goal scorer as well, Coman. And Baresi. Yeah, I think that's it, mate. Anything else that's want to talk about, or is that it for this week?
I think we've kind of covered a good chunk there, mate. No transfers to talk about. People leaving, possible takeover bids, good performances. I think that's it, mate. Just let's just hope that everyone stays fit, because we're in trouble if they don't.
Yeah, I know, that's it. Let's hope for no injuries when this international break, and we just come out with a clean bill of health. We'll be back next week, guys, building up to the big one, our cup final, Tottenham game. Put 20 quid now. As soon as the odds go out, 20 quid on Gareth Bale to score. And do you know who else is coming up for their 100th goal next game? Salah, coming up for his 100th Premier League goal. He'll save that for West Ham. Trust me. Tony Adams is brilliant. He was. Guys, if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please hit it. We're about 30 away now from 3,000, which will be fantastic. Hit the like button. It really helps us out. On your irons. Keep believing. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's go.
Cheers.